Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another new session. So this is our 8th lecture in the transition course. So today we are going to continue with the last topic, which was quadratic equations. Okay, so this is the topic. Okay, so in the last class we'll first do revisions of what we did in the last class. Okay, so we'll do the revision of what. So let's continue. Okay, so there are some questions, okay, which we will be doing at the end of the class. Okay, I have gathered some questions, but let's first revise that what we did yesterday, right? So let's revise. So basically, first of all, what is a quadratic equation? So any equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c, right? It is a polynomial of degree 2. Okay, so any equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 is known as a quadratic equation, right? So what is the so how first of all in this equation, okay, so first of all, okay, let's just one thing I have to, so if I remove this, okay, if I remove this just first of all, so let's say I have fx equals to ax square plus bx plus c. So this is a quadratic equation, but when I tell you that I want to find the roots of the quadratic equation, so basically what are we trying to do? So we are basically trying to find the roots, and by saying to find the roots, we are equating our equation to 0. That means for what value of x, okay, that means for what value of x, right, output, what is output? That is y is equal to 0. Okay, so this is what I mean when I say that I want to find the roots of the equation. Okay, so now how to find the root of the equation? So let's say that, so how many roots will be there? Okay, so for this, okay, maximum 2 possible roots. Right, there are maximum 2 possible roots, right, and there are many methods to find the roots. Okay, so first is like factorization, no, and then so the basic formula which I told you is this, right? So to find the roots, x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay, so if you use this formula, right, you will get the 2 roots which we are talking about, right? So now let's say if I find the 2 roots, okay, so let's say in this equation I get 2 roots, and let's say the roots are alpha and beta. Okay, for this quadratic equation the 2 roots are alpha and beta. Okay, so let's say alpha is equal to minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and beta is equal to minus b, and the second root will be with the minus sign, that is under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, right? So first of all, let's find the sum of the roots. Okay, so what is sum of the roots? Sum of roots, so what are the 2 roots? Alpha plus beta, and alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Okay, this is the sum of the roots. So you can look here, if I find the sum of the roots, minus b by 2a plus this, and if I add both of them, what will remain? Minus b by a. And second is product of the roots. That is alpha into beta is equal to c by a. Okay, so what are a, b and c? A, b and c are the coefficients here in this quadratic equation. Clear? So let's move forward now. Okay, so this is what we did. Now next thing was finding the roots. No, we have already learned how to find the roots. Okay, this is the basic formula that you should use to find the roots. Next we are talking about now drawing graphs. No, drawing a quadratic equation graph. So drawing a graph. Right, drawing a graph, and this is very important part in this. Why this is very important? Right, because in physics mostly, okay, in physics basically what they tell us, that they will tell you that okay, draw the graph of velocity versus position, okay, or they will tell you find the graph of acceleration versus time, right? So I can have a quadratic equation here, right? I can have a linear function here, it all depends, okay. So in that scenario, right, I should have the knowledge of graphs, okay. For a straight line we have already done, okay, in the lecture I think 5 and 6 we have talked about this, okay. Now we are in the lecture 7th and 8th, okay. So 7th was yesterday, today is 8th lecture. In this 8th lecture we are talking about the quadratic equation. So if you have missed the straight lines part, okay, I recommend you to go back into the sessions and find the sessions and again see them, okay. So let's come back here. So drawing a graph is very important, okay. So how to draw a graph? So what are the few things that you should remember? So first is nature of graph, okay, nature of graph. So when I talk about nature of graph, what do I mean by this nature of graph, right? So nature of graph is a upward parabola or a downward parabola. So my quadratic graph can be like this, right, or it can be like this, okay, or it can be like this, okay. It can cut anywhere, okay, it can cut anywhere. I can also draw something like this, right? I can draw something like this, I can draw something like this, okay. But what I am trying to say, that this type of graph is known as an upward parabola, okay. This type of graph is known as an upward parabola. So this is what? Upward parabola. So what is the condition for an upward parabola, right? The coefficient a should be greater than 0. What is a? A is the coefficient for the x square term, right? For this x square term, a is the coefficient, and if this a is positive, that is greater than 0, then I will have an upward parabola, right? And if for a downward parabola, right, for a downward parabola, this a should be less than 0, okay. And when I will prove this, I will prove this when I teach you maxima, okay. I will prove this in maxima and minima, okay. At that time I will prove you this. But this is what is the first thing you should look at, okay, that okay, what does my graph actually look like, okay. It is a parabola for sure, because it is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equations are parabolic in nature, but is it an upward parabola, is it a downward parabola, that you can see from the value a. Now second part, second we will talk about where does it cuts the x-axis, okay, where does it cuts the x-axis. So what do you mean when I say where does it cut the x-axis? So let's say if this is the graph, right, so either my graph can be like this, right, where it is cutting the x-axis at 2 points. No, what are the 2 points, right? The 2 points are, these are the 2 points, point 1, point 2. Either my graph cuts at only 1 point, right? So in that case it will be something like this. No, it is cutting at only 1 point, right? So what is the point? This is the only point, it cuts at 1 point. Or it can cut at no point. No, it can also happen something like this, that it doesn't cut the x-axis at any point. No, so here it cuts x-axis at 2 different points, okay. I can say cuts or touches x-axis at 1 point, here does not cuts, right? So these are the only three possible situations which I can have, right? Either it will cut at 2 points, 1 point, or no points. So for all of them we have different conditions, right? So and what are the different conditions? So we talked about D, right? What is D? D is the determinant, and determinant is b square minus 4ac. This is the determinant. So if this determinant D is greater than 0, right, then we had two real distinct roots, right? And that is the first case which we have here, that I will have two roots which are real and different or distinct. Second was when D is equal to 0. When D is equal to 0, what do I have? I have real, okay, two real roots, but they are equal and equal. So when I say equal, basically, right, let's say one root is x equals to 2, then the other root will also be equal to x equals to 2. No, basically both the alpha and beta, okay, both the roots are same. Okay, here both the roots alpha and beta both are same. So I will say alpha is equal to beta here. Okay, here alpha is not equal to beta. What is alpha and beta? Alpha and beta are the roots of the quadratic equation. And finally the third, when my determinant D is less than 0, that is, it is negative. When determinant is 0, right, I will have no real roots. Okay, no real roots, or we can say two imaginary roots, right, or we can say two imaginary roots. Right. So when we have two imaginary roots, when we have one root, we have two root, right? So when we have two roots, it cuts the x-axis at 2 points. When it has one root, it cuts the x-axis at 1 point, and when it has no roots, right, it does not cut the x-axis. Second is the now third point. Third point is cutting off y-axis. Right, cutting off. So basically now I will ask that where will my quadratic graph, right, cut the y-axis? So where it is cutting? It is cutting at this point, no? If you look in this graph, yes, it is cutting at this point. Just 1 minute. Okay, so let's just 1 minute. Let's make it somewhere up. So let's say this is the graph. Okay. So my graph is cutting the y-axis at this point, no? Correct? And I want to find that what is the value of this point. So the general equation of the quadratic equation is ax²+bx+c. Right? This is the general equation of my function. Now at this point, what can I tell you? What can I say? I can say that the x coordinate is 0. Right? I can for surely say that at this point the x coordinate is 0. Why? Because this is y-axis graph, no? On the y-axis graph, x coordinate is always equal to 0. So here x is 0, x is 0, x is 0, x is 0, x is 0. So in my equation here, right, basically I am trying to say that for x equals to 0, what is the value here? So just put 0 here, right? So I'll add 0 square plus b into 0 plus c. Right, so what do I get? This is 0, 0, and I'll get c. That means the value of y at this point is how much? C. So basically it cuts at this point, that is 0, c. And what is this distance? If you say this distance will be equal to c, because the y coordinate is basically the length from the origin. Right. So basically I now know that where it cuts the y-axis also. Okay, so now basically what are the three things we have done? Okay, so first thing is nature of graph, right? Will it be an upward parabola or downward parabola? We can comment from the value a, right, the a coefficient. Second was where does it cut the x-axis? To find the points where it cuts the x-axis, right, you basically find the roots. If you get two roots, it cuts the x-axis at the two roots, right? If it has only one root, right, it will cut at 1 point. If it has no roots, it will not cut the x-axis. Then third point is where does it cuts the y-axis, right? It will cut the y-axis at the point 0 comma c. And what is c? C is the third coefficient of the coefficient of x power 0. Okay, and finally the last thing which we should know is the vertex, right? And what is the vertex of a graph? So the fourth thing you should know is vertex. So a graph, a quadratic graph, right, looks something like this, or it will look something like this. No? These are the two possible situations. So in this scenario, the vertex, this is the vertex, okay? This is the vertex. And this is the vertex. So what can I tell about this vertex? This vertex is the turning point. Okay, this vertex is the turning point of the graph, right? And it is very important. This turning point is very important because I know that where does it cut the y-axis. I also know that about these points I know the nature of the graph, but I don't know where it is turning. Okay, so now the final step is we will find that what is the vertex of this graph. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, so now to find the vertex, right? What is this? This is the point. Okay, so if I want to find the coordinates of this point, right, what is this point? Okay, so first of all, if I want to find the value of this point, okay, what can I say? The slope of this, right, slope of this point, the slope of this point is equal to 0. Okay, the slope of the line at this point is equal to 0. Or I can say this is either the maximum point of minimum point of the graph, or either it is the maxima. So either it will be the maximum point of the graph, or either it will be the minimum point of the graph, right? It will be the minima or the maxima, right? This is the minima here, or either it will be the maxima. So my function fx is equal to ax² plus bx plus c, right? So now how to find the maxima and the minima for this point, right? For this you should know differentiation. Okay, if we know differentiation, then it is very easy for us to find these 2 points, correct? And that differentiation part, okay, first of all we should know differentiation, and through the concept of differentiation basically we can find maxima and minima. Okay, so we will talk about this in the later part, but for now, okay, for now if I want to find the points, right, so I will just do it. Okay, for those of you who know differentiation, right, I will differentiate this once. I will get 2x plus b, okay, plus c is 0. So at this point the slope is 0, so basically this is how you calculate the slope here, right? And since slope is equal to 0, right, I can say 2ax plus b. So what do I get? I get 2ax plus b equals to 0. I'll get x is equal to minus b by 2a, right? This will be minus b by 2a, and this you have already, so at this point x equals to minus b by 2a, right? I will find the value of y, right? So what is y? Y is equal to, I will just substitute the value here, so a into x, x is how much? Minus b by 2a, right, whole square, plus b into minus b by 2a, correct, plus c. So what do I have here? I will have a b square upon 4a square plus, this will become minus b square, so this will become minus b square upon 2a, correct, plus c. Okay, so this a cancels with this a, and I will have how much? Minus b square by 4a, correct? I will have minus b square by 4a plus c. Okay, so this is what we have here. So we will just substitute this value. So this is my y value. So just substitute. So I should know that where can I find the vertex? So the value of this, okay, this coordinate will be minus b by 2a. And at this point I can just find the value of y, and what is that? F of minus b by 2a. Just substitute the value. Okay, at this point this is the vertex, and what is the value of the vertex? At this point the value of vertex is minus b by 2a, and just substitute the value in the equation and you will get your answer, that is f of minus b by 2a. So now I know all the points in the graph, right? I know all the points in the graph. So let's do one thing, okay? Let's do one thing. Let's solve a question, okay? If you solve the question using this 4 steps, okay, let's see how we are able to draw the equation of the graph. So let's start with the questions first of all, okay? So this is the first question I want to do. So sketch the graph of the quadratic equation y equals to x square minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so what is my main aim? My main aim is to draw the graph of this. Okay, I want to sketch this graph. So first thing is, right, nature of the graph. So how will you find the nature of the graph? To look at the nature of the graph, first I should look at the value of a, right? So what is the value of a? So if I look at this, the value of the a is equal to 1. What is b? B is equal to minus 4, and what is value of c? C is equal to 3. Correct? So I can say that a is equal to 1, and since a is equal to 1, that is a is greater than 0, right? I will have an upward parabola. Right? I will have an upward parabola. That means my graph will be an upward facing like this, right? Okay. Second thing. Second is, where does it cuts the x-axis, right? X-axis. Or I can say x-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, what I'll do? Basically, I'll find the roots of the equation. So what are the roots? Right? Alpha, beta are the roots. So alpha is, let's say, so let's find it here. X is equal to minus b. So what is minus b? Plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Correct? So what do I get? I get minus b. So minus of, what is b? Minus b? Minus b is minus 4. So minus 4 plus minus under root b square. So minus 4 square minus 4. Now what is a? So a is 1, and what is c? C is equal to 3, right? Upon 2a. So 2 into a is equal to 1. So what do I get here? I get 4 plus minus under root. It will become 4 square, 16 minus 12, right? 16 minus 12 upon 2. So this will be equal to 4, right? Plus minus, and it will become 16 minus 12 is 4, and under root 4 will give me 2 upon 2, right? So what are the two roots? Alpha is equal to 4 plus 2 by 2, that is 6 by 2 is equal to 3, and beta, that is the second root, will be equal to 4 minus 2 upon 2, that is 2 by 2 is equal to 1. So what are the two roots or the x-intercept? That is alpha and beta are 3 and 1. So that means my graph, right, will cut the x-axis at 2 points. What are the 2 points? The 2 points are beta, that is 1, and the alpha, that is 3. So 1, 0 and 3, 0 are the points where it will cut the x-axis, right? So I have two information. My graph will be up like this, upward parabolic, and it will cut at these 2 points. Now third is the y-intercept. No? So what is the third part? Just 1 minute. Okay, so the third thing you have to do is, I want to find that where does it cuts the y-axis, no? Or I can say y-intercept, right? And how do you find the y-intercept? The value of c is the y-intercept, no? Right? So what is the value of c here? The value of c is 3, right? So I know that my graph will cut the y-axis at this point, somewhere here, and this value should be 0, 3. So I know this value is 0, 3. What is this value? This value is 1, 0. This value is 1, 0. And this value is how much? This value is 3, 0. 3, 0. So what is the final point thing you should know now? final thing I have to calculate is this vertex, right? And to calculate the vertex, so I want to now, the final point is to calculate the vertex. So fourth is vertex. And how do you calculate the value of vertex? The value of vertex, right, is calculated by this formula, right? What is the formula? Just substitute the value of x as minus b by 2a. So in this graph, I will substitute the value of x as minus b by 2a. So x as, so the, let's write the coordinates of the vertex, no? So my vertex v, okay, my vertex is equal to how much? X is minus b by 2a, and what is y? Y is f of minus b by 2a. Just substitute the value. So let's find value of x. X is equal to minus b by 2a is equal to minus, what is the value of b? B is minus 4 upon 2, right, into 2 into a is equal to 1, right? So what do I get? I get 4 by 2 is equal to 2. So this is the value of x. Now I will take this value of x and substitute in this equation. So what is the equation? Y is equal to x square, right, minus 4x plus 3. Just substitute the value of x here. So what do I get? Y is equal to 2 square minus 4 into 2 plus 3, and that will be equal to how much? This will be 4 minus 8 plus 3. This will be how much? 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 8 is minus 1. So the value of the vertex v is equal to how much? The value of the vertex x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 1, right? So in this graph, right, x equals to 2 will be somewhere here, x equals to 2 because 1 is here, 3 is here, 2 will be somewhere here, and minus 1. So if I want to finally draw the graph, right, let's draw the graph. So if I want to finally draw the graph of this equation, let's draw the graph on the next page only. So let's draw the graph. Okay, so let's write the points. What is this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and this is my origin, right? So let's write all the 4 points. So what is the first point? First point is nature, right? Nature of the graph is an upward parabolic. What is the x-intercept? X-intercept is alpha and beta, that is 1 and 3 other 2 points. So 1, 0 and 3, 0. So let's write the 2 points, 1, 0 and 3, 0. Now what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is 0, 3. So y-intercept will be 0, 3, right? And what is the vertex? So the vertex will be 2, minus 1. So the vertex will be 2, minus 1, 2, minus 1, right? So these are all the points. So let's join all the points. So if I want to, basically I will join all the points. Okay, so I don't think so this is looking parabolic, but okay, this will be something like this only. Okay, so this is an upward parabolic graph which I can draw from this. Okay, clear? Any questions, any doubts? If you have, you can please tell me. Okay, clear? So if you understand in this, okay, these are the 4 points, right, you should use to draw the any graph. Okay, if you use these 4 points, okay, nature of the graph is an upward parabolic because a is greater than 0. Second is the x-intercept, which will give you, which you can find using the roots. Okay, this formula you will use, basically you will find the roots. The third is the y-intercept, which is the value of the c, and the value of c is equal to 3. And finally, the last thing is the vertex, right? And how to find the vertex? Just substitute the x is equal to minus b by 2a and substitute this value in this equation, you will get the value of phi. Okay, so I hope this question is clear to you, and I have given you a question here. Okay, you please try to solve this question, and tomorrow maybe we will discuss this. Okay, please try to use all the steps which I have done right now, okay, and trying to solve this question. Okay, let's move on to next question here. Okay, so if R and S, right, if R and S are positive, then the roots of the equation x square minus rx minus s is equal to 0 are. So let's write the equation. What is the equation? X square minus rx, right, minus s is equal to 0. Okay, minus s is equal to 0. Okay, so this is a quadratic equation which I have here. Now what is given? What do I have to find? I have to find the roots of the equation are either, are they imaginary, are they real or both positive, or real or both negative. So how to find the roots? Okay, how to find the roots? So to find, first of all, let's find the roots, right? Are they real? So if the roots are real, right, the determinant will be greater than 0 if the roots are real. Okay, real and distinct. Correct? If determinant is less than 0, okay, then imaginary roots. Correct? And determinant is equal to 0, then I will have one root. Okay, or I can say real and equal roots. So the first thing I have to do is find the determinant D. And what is D? D is b square minus 4ac. Right? So let's find the determinant. So what is the determinant here? So in this, what is b? B is equal to, so let's write the value of a. A is equal to 1, b is equal to minus r, and c is equal to minus s. Correct? So let's write the value. So what is b? B is equal to minus r whole square, right, minus 4. What is a? A is 1, and what is c? C is minus s. So what do I have? I have r square, right, plus 4s. R square plus 4s. So that means that, see, r and s both are positive. So yes, r square will be positive, and since s is also positive, means this total sum is greater than 0. Yes, this will all be positive. And if this is positive, means I have real and distinct roots. Okay, so now I know that this first option is not correct, and this, let's now look at both. I have three options more left. Now how to know that if both are positive, both are negative? Okay, so let's find the value of alpha, product of the roots, alpha into beta. Okay, if alpha and beta are the two roots, right, I will have how much? What is the value of product of roots? C by a. Okay, so if both are positive, if alpha and beta both are positive, my product of the root will be greater than 0. If both are negative, then also it will be greater than 0. But if one is positive, other is negative, it will be less than 0, and if one is negative, other is positive, will be less than 0. Okay, this is plus, and plus is the sign of the roots. Okay, basically they are telling us to comment on the sign of the roots. So let's find what is the value of c by a. So what is c here? So let's find the value of c. C is minus s upon, what is a? A is equal to 1. So what do I see from this, right? I see that s is negative, no? S is positive, it is given here, and I have a negative sign here, and this is 1. This means that this will be less than 0. Correct? This will be less than 0. So product of the root is less than 0, means this condition will not satisfy. Either both of them are not positive and both of them are not negative. One is positive and one is negative, right? So real and of opposite sign is the correct answer from this. Clear? So this is how we will combine two theories, right? I have combined two theories. What is the first theory? The theory of determinant, right? And second thing is the theory of product of roots. I hope this question is clear. Let's move next. The value of m for which one of the roots of x square minus 3x plus 2m is double of one of the roots. So I have two equations here. So let's write both the equations. So what is the first equation? X square minus 3x plus 2m is equal to 0. And the other equation is x square, right, minus x plus m is equal to 0. Now the value of m for which one of the roots of this equation is, so let's say one of the roots of the equation is alpha, okay, and let's say the other root is beta. Correct? is double of 1, and let's say the root here is, let's say, gamma and delta. Okay, these are the 4 roots: alpha, beta, gamma, delta. And he is trying to say that one of the roots of this equation is double of one of the roots of this. So let's say this alpha, so I can say that this alpha is double of, let's say, gamma, right? I will pick any one of the root. Let's say I have picked this root gamma, okay, and the root of this equation is double of this root, right? So I will have alpha is equal to 2 gamma, correct? So I will just substitute the values of alpha here. So if alpha is the root, it will satisfy this equation. So I will have alpha square minus 3 alpha plus 2m is equal to 0, right? So I have this equation first, and for this the gamma will satisfy this, no? So gamma square minus gamma plus m is equal to 0. So I can substitute the value of gamma here. So what do I get? Alpha by 2 whole square minus alpha by 2 plus m is equal to 0. So what do I have? Alpha square by 4 minus alpha by 2 plus m equal to 0. So I have other equation this. So now I should be able to solve both the equations, no? So I will just substitute the values, right? So what do I get? If I multiply it by 4, so what do I have? Alpha square minus 2 alpha plus I will have 4m is equal to 0. Okay, so just substitute the value of alpha here. So the second equation I am writing it here only: alpha square minus 2 alpha plus 4m equal to 0. Okay, this is the second equation which I have. Now we will try to add both of the equations. Okay, just so substitute, okay, equating alpha. So what do I have? I have 3 alpha minus 2m is equal to 2 alpha minus 4m. Okay, basically what I have done, I find the value of alpha square. What is the alpha square? 3 alpha minus 2m, 3 alpha minus 2m, and here alpha square is equal to 2 alpha minus 4m, 2 alpha minus 4m. So what do I get? I get from here alpha, right? I will just substitute the values of alpha. So I will get alpha is equal to minus 2m, right? So now what should I be able to do? I should be able to find the value of, right? I have found the value of m. Okay, now I will substitute the value of alpha. Okay, so we should be able to, we should find the roots only. Okay, then we have to find the root in both of the cases. Okay, so let's try to find the root. Okay, so let's find the root. So for this equation, okay, so my first equation which I have here, what is this? X square minus 3m, x square minus 3m, right, plus, sorry, x square minus 3x plus 2m is equals to 0. So what are the roots? I will say minus b, x is equals to minus b, so minus of minus b plus minus under root b square, that is minus 3 square minus 4 into a. So what is a? Let's say a is equal to 1, and what is c? C is equal to 2m upon 2 into a is equal to 1. So what do I have here? I have 3 plus minus under root 9 minus 8m upon 2, right? So I have two roots now, so alpha and beta, right? What is alpha? Alpha is 3 plus under root 9 minus 8m by 2, or 3 minus under root 9 minus 8m by 2. Okay, now here I don't know which is alpha, which is beta. Okay, any one of can be. What is the second equation? X square minus x plus m, x square minus x plus m is equal to 0. So x is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4 into a into c upon 2a. So 2 into a. So I will have minus plus 1 under root plus minus 1. This will become 1 minus 4m by 2. Okay, so what are the two roots? Gamma and delta. I will have 1, right, plus under root 1 minus I have 4m by 2, and I have 1 minus under root 1 minus 4m by 2. Right, now what do I know? I know that one root is double of the other root, right? One root is the double of other root. So basically I will use this condition and I will substitute the value here. Okay, so please try to solve this question and find the answer. Next question. Okay, basically I will give you answers tomorrow for this questions. Okay, please try to get the answer. So the number of integral values of m for which the, okay, so just because I am out of time, okay, I have, how many questions are left? So I have one, okay, I have this last question for you. Okay, so I will also give this question for homework. Okay, I will give you this question also for homework. Okay, in the next class, okay, before starting differentiation, right, what I'll do, I will start with this 2 questions, okay, and I will give you the answers. Clear? So please try to find the answers for both the questions, and whatever doubts you have, okay, whatever doubts you have, you please try to, on the description box, right, we have a Google form link. Okay, you please click that link and you try to, whatever doubts you have, right, you please submit in that, and also join a Telegram group, okay, where we share like many exam tips and tricks, okay, and planners, right, question papers which are very helpful for you. So please join the Telegram channel, it is also in the description box, and hope you like the session. If you have any doubts, okay, connect with us. Please like, subscribe, and thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Thank you.